Brian, and welcome Garrett Williams from the locker room level there at Clemson. Good to see you, and we thank you for doing this. And, in baseball, when a guy gets his first major league home run against a future Hall of Famer, they say he got a name brand. And for you, you've got an interception and a pick six against the best player in college football, Trevor Lawrence. Take us through the play if you can.
I was in a cover three concept, and he threw it. It tipped off Amari Rodgers' hands. I caught it off the tip, and then I just tried to find my way to the end zone.
And able to do that, so you've got the ball skills and the ability to be aggressive once you've got it. The coaches, after you had 9 tackles in the opening game against North Carolina, the defensive coaches told us, hey, this guy showed up real early in training camp when the new staff kind of came in, and they were looking to find a way to get you involved. Can you take us back, even if it's a few months? So when did you feel like things were happening for you that you were going to be part of the mix here?
I knew early on that I was going to be part of the mix because I knew how hard I'd worked leading into it. So I didn't know whether I'd be starting or not, but I knew I'd leave them with no choice but to have me in the game in some capacity.
We dug up a stat that was floating around, I guess, before the game, Pro Football Focus's college edition, saying Garrett Williams has had the most targets of any player in the country without a touchdown against. It was something like 30 targets, no touchdowns. What has been working for you as you kind of, you've been playing a lot of ball as a freshman, and people tend to go after freshmen, particularly somebody like Trevor Lawrence and the skills that he has?
It's honestly just a lot of extra film, doing the little things to make sure I feel prepared. And so when it comes to Saturday, I don't feel nervous. I feel confident in what I can do and do the things the right way.
One other huge play you made in the game was in the third quarter when Clemson loaded up for a big shot down the middle. Can you walk us through the mindset there? And that had to be at least some sort of sense of not only preparation, but the feel that a play like that could come.
Yeah, in that certain formation, we knew that they took a lot of deep shots. And when he broke on the route, I knew that I was trailing a little bit, so I had to make up for it a little bit. And then when I saw him dive for the ball, I had to make sure that I at least shot my hand to try to break it up, get it out in some type of way.
As we point out here, your left hand is helping you high point the ball from a defensive perspective, right? That's not by accident.
Yeah, no.
So where are you here? We always like to finish these player interviews, Garrett, with maybe you kind of speaking for the team and give us a snapshot of the attitude and approach. I could see where the team didn't feel very good about itself a week ago at this time, losing at home to Liberty. You go on the road and, everybody else that's played number one Clemson in the last 3 years has lost. You walk out of there now, what do you feel heading into 2 home games?
As a team, I think we're really confident, but we're still upset about the fact that we didn't finish the game because we had an opportunity to beat them, And even though we didn't finish the job, I think it was a real good thing to come back from last week. And it really gave us just another jolt to really believe in each other again and realize, we can play with anybody when we're playing the right way, playing smart, playing hard, aggressive, some of the things that we didn't do last week.
Yeah, and part of the deal here is all you guys newcomers, and you've been a starter from week 1 this season, but Ed Hendricks gets a couple notches in his belt today and that type of thing, right? And so that's got to be the trade-off of this season. If you aren't going to win a lot of games, you got to develop. And did you get a sense as younger players that that's what's happening?
Yeah, I feel like everybody who's in has deserved the opportunity to play, regardless of if it's by accident or just earning it. So I feel like when all of us are in, all the young players, we're confident in what we can do, and we don't see any drop-off between us and the next guy,
All right, Garrett, thank you. We had your opposite, number 14, Anthony Quealy, last week. He was also very well-spoken in tough circumstances. We appreciate the time and safe travels, okay?
Thank you.
Garrett Williams there, Brian. And
thanks, Matt, and thanks, Garrett. Garrett, my name is Sue. I'll be taking you around the media Zoom today, calling on the media for their questions. First question will be from Matt Hausworth from Channel 3 in Syracuse.
Garrett, congratulations. Great game. I'm just curious to know, what should Syracuse fans expect? Should they expect the team that we saw last week against Liberty or this pretty good performance against the best team in the country?
You guys should expect a lot more of this, what happened this week, because I feel like we really focused on things this week in practice, and it really showed in the game, even though we didn't get the outcome we got, but we knew going in that we were the dogs, we had to lose. And I think that showed how hard and how smart we played.
Thanks, Garrett. Next, we'll go to Chris Carlson from Syracuse.com.
Garrett, I a lot of us wondered how hard you guys would play this week. And I know Dino mentioned he did not necessarily like how it looked midway through the week. Was there a moment when you knew you guys were going to play well today? And were there any instances of leadership that kind of pulled you guys together?
I think just in the locker room before the game, you could sense the focus and the hunger from all of us, from offense to defense, through everybody, and the opportunity we had that, we could shock the world. We all knew that the odds were really against us, so we saw it as an opportunity to really just shock people and show people that we're not what people think we are.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Garrett. Next, we'll go to Darius Joshua from Channel 9.
How you doing, Garrett? I kind of had a similar question that I kind of just, after a performance like this, where do you feel like some of the younger players on this defensive side are kind of, through the first 6 games here, kind of how they've sort of shown are and have this kind of performance here against the top team like Clemson?
I think all of our young players, the confidence is just building in each of us. And so I think just each game is, you're just going to keep seeing more and more improvement because the confidence is going up as we get more games on our belt, especially a game like today where we know we're playing, the number 1 team in the country, everybody loves Clemson, all that type of thing. And so after putting out a performance like that, I think everybody's going to play a lot better going forward, knowing that we can do it against anybody.
Thank you. Next, we'll go to Stephen Bailey for a question from 247 Sports.
Hey, Garrett. Dino said on Monday that one of the things he really wanted to see for the rest of the year is just player development, and you kind of need a certain level of buy-in across the roster to see that. You guys obviously showed it today. What kind of optimism does that give you for the rest of the season? And was there maybe a lack of certainty that existed a week ago?
No, I feel like even after the Liberty game, we just knew that we just messed up, but we knew that wasn't who we were as a team, even though that's what people started to write us off as. And I think just today showed that we're capable of doing really good things when we're all focused, locked in, and doing what we're supposed to do.
What makes
Thanks, Garrett. Next, we'll go to Danny Emmerman from the Daily Orange.
Hey, Garrett. One of the biggest plays of the game that we were talking to Dino about was that 4th and 1 punt in the third quarter. What do you think the decision to punt says about Dino's confidence in the defense?
We knew going in, Coach Babers had a lot of faith in us, as he should. And so punting in a situation like that, we take it as a compliment because he knows he believes in us. And we also believe in ourselves that we can stop him as well. So I think, it's a good compliment to have from head coach.
Thank you. Next, we'll go to Jacob Payne from Sports Illustrated Syracuse.
Hi, Garrett. When we spoke with Dino just a few minutes ago, commenting on your return on the interception, he said, we might have a new punt returner. What do you think about getting in there and trying to return punts?
Anything for the team.
Thank you.
Next, we'll go to Eric Columbia from Spectrum News.
You mentioned a little bit about how tough last week's Liberty loss was. How much do you guys hear any of the outside noise, what fans or people like us are saying about the team, and how much does that motivate you guys? Because you seemed, even though it was a loss today, you seemed to answer the call a bit.
We're all on social media, and obviously we all follow all the Syracuse football sites and things like that. So, we see some of the negativity that goes, but we try not to focus on it. We try to just focus on the task we have at hand. And with us knowing that there are people against us, we just use it as extra motivation.
Thanks, Garrett. For the last question, we'll go to Christian de Guzman from Noon's Magician.
Hey, Garrett. So we know that you were a starter heading into the season, but with the injuries to Andre and the injuries to Eric, that meant you have a lot of young guys stepping in, like Rob and Jihad. But even with them, there's still a lot of freshmen and redshirt freshmen that are playing on this defense. What does a year like this do for your development so that you guys will be stronger contributors heading into the following seasons at Syracuse?
Oh, it does a lot because, the season, even though the season technically doesn't count, all the reps and things we're doing in game count for us, you know what I'm saying? And so I think just each year, we're just going to keep getting better and better. Not even each year, each game, we're just going to keep getting better and better. And I feel like we're seeing that as the season goes on. The confidence is going up. Everything's going up in the right direction for the most part.
Thanks, Garrett.
Yeah.
Garrett, thank you very much for your time today. Have a safe trip back to Syracuse.
Thank you.